Let's get in fuel, and then we shall talk about the R6. Or is it R1? Or R6? Or R1? I don't know anymore. They look identical! So yeah, as you guys know, I'm quite a big fan of the R6. I've loved the R6 looks ever since I started riding motorcycles. Yeah, and they've finally released a new R6 for the first time in, I think, nearly a decade now. And it's a mini R1. It is virtually a carbon copy of the R1 from the looks of it. Even the brakes and the suspension systems apparently have been pulled from the R1. I think it was MCN that came up with that video. And yeah, so thoughts. It looks cool, don't get me wrong, looks very cool, but it's just an R1 copy. Like, the way I see it, if you want a bike that looks like that, why would you go to the R6 when you can just get the R1, which is the big daddy, the main one, the first one that came up with those looks. The R6, it's a copycat. Like, I know the R6 and the R1 have been fairly sort of closely intertwined look-wise for quite a while, but I don't know, is this one a little bit too far? Is it a little bit too like the R1? Really, really good news. Really fantastic decision by Yamaha. Quick shifter is coming standard on the European models. How fantastic is that? I think manufacturers have followed BMW's example and they've started sticking quick shifters on everything, and I will put my vote to that one. It's a brilliant idea.
Agnew, give it your stamp of approval.
Because quick shifters make the riding experience so much more fun. Apparently it's around the same weight as the old R6, but I haven't had a good chance to look at the specs. So through the power of editing, I will now look up the facts and I shall display them for you side by side.
Okay guys, let's look at some of these specs for the new Yamaha R6. Now first of all, the most important thing I want to get across is they don't seem to have done anything with the new engine on the R6. The engine seems to be the same engine they had in the 2008 to the 2016. So even though they haven't released any of the max power or the torque specs yet, I imagine this bike will have more or less the exact same power and torque as the old bike. So that's the engine. However, the front end is a little bit different. The front forks are the same forks that are on the current R1. So you've got slightly bigger forks compared to the last R1, and they're KYB inverted forks as well. So you're going to get a lot better performance out of your front suspension than the old R6. Next along, the front brake discs, they're a little bit bigger than the old ones. So the old ones were 310mm, the new ones are 320. So your front braking performance is going to be a little bit better. The brake calipers themselves are still the unbranded ones that Yamaha like to use, and I can't see any reason why they'd be that bad. They've always been quite good, those unbranded ones, but they're not Brembos. When everyone else seems to be going for the Brembo monoblock calipers, yeah, I think they're a little bit behind in that department. Next along, the weight of the bike is more or less identical. It's 1 kilogram heavier according to the spec sheet, but you're not going to notice that. And also, they've crammed a lot more stuff into the bike, like you've got your traction control, you've got your ABS, you've got your quick shifting system. So they've done quite a good job of the weight. And going on to the traction control and that, you have traction control, but you do not have the R1's like IMU, the inertial measurement unit. So it does not have any gyros that will be doing very fancy spaceship calculations while you're riding. It's just the wheel sensors on the wheels that will be doing traction. You also have ABS, and of course the piece de resistance. They're putting a quick shifter on it. Now, from what I've heard so far, the European models are going to come with the quick shifter stock, but the American ones, you're going to have to opt for it as an accessory. So a little bit of a kick in the nuts there, Yamaha, to the American fans, so how dare you. So my verdict on this new bike, it looks very, very, very nice. They've done some smashing jobs on the on the appearance of all like the new fairing panels, but the heart of the bike itself, it's not going to be performing that much difference to the older R6. So if you're in the market for this sort of a bike, I'd say look at the older model R6s as well, because you're going to get virtually the same performance out of both bikes. I mean, and you'll save a lot of money as well. You might as well just buy an old R6 and put a quick shifter on it for £300-400 maybe. And yeah, do you need ABS or traction control? You've got power modes on the new one as well, but on the ZX6R, the new 636 one, they put them on that, but they ended up as more of as a gimmick than actually something that was useful. So people just ended up riding in full power mode all the time. I mean, on a bigger liter bike they'd be useful, but not on a 600. So yeah, other than that, it's a cracking bike. I'm glad that Yamaha's finally done something with the R6 as opposed to just changing the colour scheme every year. So yeah, we're just going to have a quick look at a few pictures of it. As you can see, the new fairings are looking very, very nice. The new colour scheme, it looks brilliant. Just up there you can see the same headlight style that the R1 has, the LED lights with the main lights just below them. Next along we have the dash. The dash looks like it's been taken out of the old R1, and it looks like you've got a gear indicator, which is fantastic. They needed that for a very long time. Looks like there might also be a lap timer on it as well. And yeah, it just looks like a much better dash all around. Also, there are your adjusters as well for your suspension. The nice new tail section, that is looking very nice. Very sleek tail section. It looks like something off an airplane or a fighter jet as opposed to a motorbike. So, very nice job with that tail section there. Next along, what do we have next in the pictures? We have, oh yeah, there are the new brake discs and the new brake... not the brake, the wheel sensors in the middle and the new forks. So as you can see, the old calipers are still on there, the unbranded ones. So would have been nicer with some Brembos, but what are you going to do? There's the seat. It looks like they've changed the seat as well, and rear end, it looks like you're not going to have any space whatsoever to store anything. That looks like you'd be lucky to get your little toolkit in it, if that. Yeah, but it looks like quite a comfy little seat they've put on it. It looks quite ergonomic. And finally, a nice look from the front with its LED lights on. Looks quite nice. Looks quite sort of sharp and mean. And that air intake, that looks very sharp. I'm liking it. Liking it a lot.
So there you go. That's how they compare. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this quick little video about the R6. Hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. See you later!